Welcome to the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre here in Albury for NBL1 action. For the final time, we have basketball here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre in NBL1 for 2019. What a wonderful opening season of the competition that it has been, but not so for the home team. Our women going down a few moments ago to Knox. It was their last opportunity to keep their playoff hopes alive. Unfortunately for them, they lost, but in any case, Waverley tonight have won their second game against Launceston in their Tasmanian doubleheader road trip. Kaufman, 2 victories to them meant that the Bandits, irrespective of tonight's result, wouldn't have got in any case. So good luck to Waverley going into the playoffs. But for the men, well, these two sides, neither will actually feature in the playoffs themselves going in. The Bandits come into tonight with a record of 8 wins and 11 losses, and that record is slightly worse for Knox, 7 wins and 12 losses. So both these sides very much just playing for a nice way to finish and go into 2019. Steve Murphy, Jade Colf in commentary. It is for the SSNA Club in Albury, our premier partners tonight with our broadcast, bringing you all the action from the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Colf, man, great to have your company.
Yeah, mate, really looking forward to this one. As you said, look, an entertaining game in the first game of our doubleheader. But as you said, no playoff implications on the line tonight. The last round of this, what's been a really entertaining and exciting NBL1 competition. But tonight, what I would like to see from this Bandits outfit, this talented, athletic men's Bandits outfit, is defensive rebounding and some defense. They've been entertaining to watch at the offensive end, but it's been defense that has let Brad Chalmers' Chargers down so far this year. And, you know, for the Knox Raiders coming in here, as you said, similar record, nothing on the line. I'm sure they want to round out their season with a good quality win on the road. The Bandits have played some high octane, some playoff intensity basketball this year, but it has been few and far between. So let's see what both these teams dish up tonight. It will be entertaining nonetheless. And, it will round out what has been, as you said before, Murph, a really exciting and entertaining and very enjoyable NBL1 competition. And we hope all the fans out there watching on YouTube have enjoyed it as well as what we have.
Now, we will have a special guest join us probably just after quarter time. Charisse Daniel, one of the star import players, as we farewell her from season 2019. She will come up and join us up here a little bit later on. So Rains to do the tip-off against Big Torrin Jones here. to get things underway here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Stay tuned for two teams that are fairly even on the table, so we imagine we may have a very similar situation. Bit of body work as the ball is tossed back in by Rose. And Knox will possess the ball for the first time. Hewer with it. Around to Grant. And now in the possession of Thosby. Gets towards, well, Riak, a nice block, but Thosby, a second crack at it, drops it in and draws the contact. And deja vu to the way the women's match started earlier tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. That similarities are, similarities are freakish, really. But Shaq Riak coming across there, and I think he's been pinned with that foul there, Murph. And we talked about a fair bit early foul trouble. Normally it's that man in the middle, the junkyard dog, Torrin Jones, picking up those early ones. But look, Riak provides some outside shooting, and look, at least the intensity's there early on the first possession.
Mick Jones into that man Riak. Rose almost takes it away from him, or Grant it was, and it will be a Knox ball. So the men starting the way the women did, nicely for Knox with the first early points.
Riak kicked that ball into the skybox section. Our friends down there, we like the skybox section, Murph.
Hewer, quick across to Grant, now Rose with it. Setting up along the right wing. Hewer, Grant, and Rose, those three combining very nicely. Rains puts a hard block on Bosley, gets it back, and Rains with a reverse layup is good for a couple of points to get his night moving.
Yeah, that was a silky little move there.
Sinkurak comes off the foot there of number 21 and Adam Thosby. So Bosley, the scoring machine from Kentucky. In a big Torrin Jones puts the jumper up. It had a bow peep, doesn't land. Bosley comes up with a rebound. And the Bandits still looking for their first points. Bosley doesn't change that. And Knox with a 5-0 start. Hewer drives to the bucket, misses, gets his own rebound, spins around, back to Rains, drives it in, calls the foul. And it's 7-0 Knox with a shot to come.
Wow, a little bit of showtime early on from the Raiders, Murph. Wow, I enjoyed that one there. And then this man again, big Rains, with a couple of highlight little plays. That was some high-level stuff right there from the Raiders. And as you said, Murph, they are out of the gates fast.
So Rains knocks it down. He's made a good start with 5 points against Jones tonight. Interesting tussle, and 8-0. The Bandits for the SSNA club caught napping a little bit in the opening 90 seconds of play. This is Sukuk. Riak for three. Misses. Sinkurak comes up with it and lands it in for the first 2 points. The Bandits get going, and you can probably judge by the crowd their applause.
Absolutely, they are looking for a win tonight to round out the season.
Hewer drives and had a bit of contact prior to it as well.
And that right there is really what we just saw there is a bit of the story of this Bandit season. A little bit undisciplined from the big junkyard dog, Torrin Jones.
That shot's going to count as well too, Colt,
yeah,
so it'll be a 3-point play.
Yeah, that shot counts, and that was off the backboard, and he jumped up and swatted it. Easy call as Kenjar Bosley attacks. He gets into the seams, dumps it down low. Junkyard dog, tough move.
That's going to need plenty of that tonight. Is quickly up the floor with Thosby. Goes Knox inboard to Grant. Heavy contact by Jones. And he's in that familiar sort of walk where he walks with the ball for a few steps, collects his thought. Jones obviously far from pleased with the call, the foul called on him.
Bit of physicality early on here.
Rose, Rains. Hewer looks lively for two. This is Hewer knocks it down. A man comfortable with his limitations.
Nice step back there from Hewer. He's active early on. Bosley.
Well, that was ambitious against the big fella.
Very, very ambitious from that man. And Kenjar Bosley just hasn't had the same scoring numbers as after he went down with that ankle injury mid-season. Been struggling to break out as Jones. Riak. Manny Malou. Got it! Manny Malou.
Well, he's a man that can really light up. He's got high credentials as Rose goes for a bit of a slip. Grant out wide for Rains, puts it up and misses. Comes down to Manny Malou, and foul called here, going for a bit of a slide is the 21 and Adam Thosby. Now, Manny Malou, he's the guy for our Knox listeners in the Bandits lineup that you could see a lot more of in the future. He was tipped at one stage to go in the NBA draft. That was on track, had some hard luck sort of story in terms of his schooling. And, you know, the Bandits very, very lucky to have him on their roster. He was sort of a late blessing in some ways to them. He's been an absolute star as Kenja Bosley's called for a offensive foul. And nothing going the way of the Bandits very early on in the contest.
Yeah, Kenja unhappy with that. He looks up and says, what? What? He just thought that was a strong power move and a 50-50 call. The referee was having none of it. And he feels a little bit hard done by. And there's plenty of nickel here early on, Murph.
There is a bit of feeling between the two. A couple of players brushing past each other. And, well, I mean, both sides, this is it for them. This is their grand final right here, right now, tonight, as Grant combines with Hewer. Grant past halfway, drives in towards the key. Out wide for Rains. The big fella causing some issues early on for Torrin Jones. Hewer back to Rains. Well, somehow found himself underneath the basket when initially he looked for a pass. And now they get it back, Knox. Hewer flicks it back inside to Thosby, and back-to-back buckets for Knox jumps them back out to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, catastrophe early on as Riak, he launches a three. Banks are closed. Jones gets it.
And here is Rose, back across, Thosby in amongst a couple of Bandits. Thosby picks his way through up the lane and drops it in, gets the bounce of the ball his way. And the pace of the game, a bit of tempo basketball required by the home team right now, because for the SSNA club in Albury, 6 minutes remain in the opening term. Torrin Jones's bucket brings the margin back to 7. Bandits 11, Knox the visitors 18.
She's a fast pace.
They want it back. Easy bucket coming up. Riak in well. Sinkirak. And the Bandits have mucked up.
Wow, just not organised there. They can't cash in on that. They need to gain some composure here because this is kamikaze basketball, if ever I've seen it, Murph.
Thosby, now he's lost the ball.
Riak, all the way, challenges Rains, and he'll go to the line.
Doesn't drop it in, gets the foul on Rains, who looks a little perplexed, the big fella. He's not overly happy.
The fans in the stands look a bit perplexed too, Murph. They're trying to work out what the heck is going on out here. As that man, Deborah George, checks in, he comes in and says, Coach, put me in. Let's settle things down a bit.
Well, he is their main man on the floor in terms of assists this season, Deborah George. He can light it up at his very, very best. He is right up there with the top echelon of players in this competition with all his experience. And knocking it down there. So the Bandits close the margin back to 5, closest they've been for a period of time as Rose goes to Thosby. Back out to Grant. And now Rose for 3. Can't get it. Rains gets it back. The no-look pass back to Rose for a second crack at it. Checks Thosby. Behind the back. Thosby goes out to Rose. Rose from the left-hand corner. Misses. Riak had it tapped away by Hewer. Comes up and Torrin Jones throws the ball out. Looking for Manny Malou.
Yeah, big Torrin Jones wanted to get it on the fast break. That had potential for a bit of a highlight reel play, but the execution lacking. 18-13, 4:50 left in period 1. Helter-skelter hoops as Rose shapes up. There's a 3 ball. No good. Kenja Bosley.
I think both sides looking for maybe a little settled here. Here comes, yeah, nice move.
Count it and the foul. Kenja Bosley.
We might point out as well, certainly for our Bandits fans listening tonight, absolute basketball royalty in Daryl McDonald on the sidelines coaching Knox.
He sure is, Murph. D-Mac. NBL legend.
Absolute superstar, that man in his day. Big Rains tosses it back in. And now finding his way on the floor is Manure. Rains around to Rose. Rose for three. He's had a couple of cracks at these, and eventually, law of averages, he does knock one down, Mike Rose.
Yeah, that one never looked like missing, Murph. That's his spot there. That's a nice fundamental stroke that he's got there as Deborah George launches. Oh, speaking of fundamentals, Deborah George, nothing but net on that one.
Already makes an impact as soon as really coming on, doesn't he?
Back to Rose. Oh, nice pass inside. Good finish. Well played there. Good stuff from Knox. As that man, Nyok. Good finish. Deborah George. Torrin Jones. Oh,
over the top.
The ball.
Just lost the handle, hit the top of the backboard.
Lost the handle. The ball flew over the backboard. Knox Raiders ball. And the Junkyard Dog. Got to love the intensity from the big Junkyard Dog, Torrin Jones. 23-19. Raiders lead is what can only be described as helter-skelter basketball here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. Rose puts it on the floor.
Thosby drives it up, misses, and eventually getting the bucket and dropping it down. Nyok.
Nyok again. 4 quick points.
George drives to the paint, steps out wide across. React for three, misses. And Nyok takes the rebound, so brings it up straight away across to Thosby. Beautiful spin, took possession, got it out to Rains, thought about the three. And eventually, well, knocked over by Lloyd of the Bandits. It'll be a ball to Knox. Inbound ball to come via Adam. Now Rose across to Rains. Minier.
Yeah, that looks like a
And
carry.
he misses. But
He gets pulled up on that one there. That's a carry. Referee not having any of that. Wants to head in the other direction. We've got Jared Moeller checking in for the first time tonight.
Josh McKay with the inbound ball. 19-25. Bandits will work back within 6. Both sides offensively have eventually got their scoring going, but missed a lot of shots still in this opening half. This is Molnar around to McKay. Lloyd into Jones. Jones, some tough work against Rains. Draws the contact, goes to the line. That'll be the second personal on Big Rains.
And the Junkyard Dog doing his thing down low. He'd be happy with that. Been a frustrating start for that man, Torrin Jones, but he's catapulted to 8 points. And he's really had the potential in a lot of these ball games this year to really just dominate and take things over. He's had a fairly solid season, but probably not as dominant as what he would like as he misses that free throw.
Nyok with a rebound across to Rose. Takes on Lloyd. 4 points for the SSNA club, the lead. Well, Rose had it knocked away by Deborah George. Torrin Jones flicks it up to George. George for three.
Whoa!
A big bomb, Deborah George. As the court announcer Nelly swallows his microphone, Grant has it across to Rose. He flicks it back. Nyok looks for Menier, puts it up. Off the rim, doesn't go. Torrin Jones comes up with it. Tough play.
Torrin Jones just cleaning the boards. Loves it in there. They bounced off him. He's a force in the middle.
And foul called against the 2, I reckon it was. No, it's going against the 4 in Menier. So Torrent Jones now at the line, both teams in the bonus territory. 1:56 remaining. Jones to level things up. The Bandits haven't looked like it for large parts of this opening term, but they do find themselves level pegging. And now, for the first time tonight, the Southern Vale home Bandits take the lead, 26-25. Into Nyok, he has it. In the backcourt, across to Grant. Grant quickly on, further afield, finds it to Adam, and he pops it in off the glass for 2, and Knox take back a 1-point lead.
Yeah, tough move there. Torrent Jones was looking to swap that as Deborah George. Bit of razzle-dazzle, he likes that. And
Looks
he turns it over. There'll be easy buckets here.
Adnam.
Jared Molnar tries to get back.
Adnam too good, but off the glass for 2.
And there those easy buckets will destroy any momentum that you put together. And Deborah George will want to round things out here. He loves the high pick and roll action. Deborah George. He goes wide. Bailey Lloyd fires away. No good. Rebound. Knox Raiders. They push.
Menio quickly up, across, underneath the hoop. Here is Adam. Out wide, Grant for 3 for Knox. They're finishing the term much the better at the moment as D. George brings it up the floor for the Bandits. Takes on Adnam. Stops and checks himself around to Jared Molnar. And called for a travel on Molnar, so everything swinging Knox way late. So the Bandits took a 1-point lead at around a minute and a half ago, and then since then it has been all the Knox side who have jumped out to a 6-point lead and looking to add to that, Cole.
Yeah, kamikaze basketball, that can happen. Long range 3 again, no good, rebound. Oh,
West misses it, Adnam comes up with it, out to Grant. Grant for 3, back to back it would be for him, he misses. McKay across to George. George to Molnar. He'll shoot for 2, well short. Torrent Jones lands on his head and comes back to Menio, who comes up with it along the right wing.
Torrent Jones was shocked. He's like, that ball ball missed by a long way. 14 on the clock. Grant. Nyok sets the pick. And there's a foul. Molnar's going to cop another one. And Malik Munier will head to the line.
So a couple of shots coming up for the 19-year-old.
He's been very aggressive since coming on.
Knox going to go in with a handy lead too at quarter time, just quietly, Colf.
DMAC coach Daryl McDonald will be happy with that.
It's gone well wrong for the Bandits since they hit the lead. It's now gone on a scoring run of 8-0 the way of Knox. The Bandits have possessed the ball one last time. Deborah George.
Very casual, 3 on the clock.
Last shot, puts it up. Deborah George well short. And it is the Knox opening high-scoring affair. We know the Bandits are one of the top leaders in that division, so we do expect a shootout tonight. 26-33, 7 points, Knock lead, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll run through some of those numbers there, Murph. That was helter-skelter basketball. A lot of kamikaze stuff going on there, but Knox just settled down. They finished the first period a lot more settled, and the Bandits really couldn't get it together from the opening tip-off. As we take a look at some of those numbers, and the field goal percentage, Knox shooting lights out, 58%. Bandits, no defense once again. The Bandits shooting pretty well at 47%, but they're going to have to lock down on D. Rebounds, 11 to the Knox Raiders, 10 to the Bandits, so pretty even there. The three-point shooting, both teams have had 8 shots from downtown. Bandits at 38%, they've made 3, and Knox at 25, and they've made 2, so pretty even there. We'll take a look at the turnovers. Yeah, the Bandits all over the place. 7 turnovers in the first period alone. Coach Chalmers would be irate with that. Knox with 4. Coach Darryl McDonald somewhat happy with that. And we take a look at the free throw percentages. 83 for the Bandits and 60% for the Knox Raiders. Bottom line there in that first period. Look, Knox just settled down. We're a little bit more settled as the quarter went along. And if the Bandits are looking to play kamikaze basketball for 4 quarters, safe to say they're going to lose this ball game as well, which will not round out their NBL1 season in high spirits. They really need to get it together and work out what they're doing at the offensive and the defensive end.
No question about that. So for the SS&A club, we're about to go into a second period here. We're going to try to keep you up to date with a few of these things happening across this weekend. It's a fascinating finish to the men's situation, Colf. Just quietly as we come out for the second stanza. We'll get to more of that at half-time. But we basically have 4 teams that are sitting on 10 wins, or 5 teams on 10 wins at the moment. So playoff spots very much coming down to the wire. So we're going to keep you updated on a few of those games. We'll get to that at half-time. Gibbs is on the floor for the Bandits, so too Lloyd. This is Deborah George. Gibbs for 3, an unlikely 3-shooter, misses. Comes down to McKay, flicks it across to Deborah George. He is a likely shooter. Almost had the wing pulled, gets it back inside the paint. D. George puts it up, misses. His mate Jones is there to mop up and puts it off the glass for a couple. And it stops an 8-0 run.
Yeah, well done from Torrin Jones. He's about the only one out there right now that is playing real solid basketball. And just as well, he's cleaning up everything on the glass as Grant goes backdoor pass. Beautiful play.
Menierp drops it in.
What a pass from Grant.
Moves into 3. Grant's having a bit of an influential effect on the game as Deborah George puts up a 3. It will count, and a foul against Knox as well. So double drama for them. Great shot by Deborah George.
So they count the 3 and get it from the side.
Just trying to count. It wasn't on David George. It wasn't on him. It was off the ball at the time. So it's gone against the 9 in West. Gibbs, Jones, around to Lloyd. Deborah George for 3. Great start to the second by the Bandits for the SS&A club. 34-35 margin, back to 1.
Yeah, Deborah is on absolute fire.
Menua goes up with it. Misses, comes down to Nyok. He gets it underneath, stripped by Deborah George.
Yeah,
it'll be a Bandits ball.
Wow, Deborah George has turned this game on its head since coming off the bench. He's got 12 points on 4 makes from downtown. And he's feeling it. That last shot was a heat check. And the heat is still burning. He is in Flago right now as Manny Malou. Kenjar Bosley looks to get in on the act, and he does! He makes a 3 ball, and the Bandits take the lead. Ooh, behind the back action.
This will be just the second time tonight they leave Reigns, and that'll be a foul called on Bosley.
Was that explosive backcourt tandem of Deborah George and Kenjar Bosley doing all the damage, and the man in the middle, the junkyard dog, Torrin Jones, who really kept the Bandits in this contest early on, and now that backcourt is wide awake. And when they are awake, they are as explosive and as destructive as any combination in this NBL1 competition. They are entertainment plus.
Reigns moves on to 9 points for the evening. Malou in a Deborah George. For the SS&A club, just over 8 minutes remain in the opening half. Bosley goes in to Jones. Jones against Reigns. Can't get a lot of territory there. Does get it up. Draws the contact. Jones will now go to the line. The foul going against Grant on this occasion. Quite interesting to see Reigns' eyeballs pinned straight to the referee to check whether he had a third personal next to his credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Reigns he's just trying to work out what he can do down there defensively. Torrin Jones just put the shoulder in like the junkyard dog that he is, and Reigns is like, well, what can I do with that? I don't know how to really stop that there. If Big Reigns pushed back a little bit and got called for the foul, so I can understand his pain there, but Big Torrin Jones doesn't care about that. He's at the line.
Jones, and that's good also. So Bandits by 1. That is the third time they've led by 1. haven't got any higher out than that so far tonight. West with the ball. Goes inside the paint, puts it up. Manny Malou was there, and the Bandits come up with the ball and possession. Under 8 to play in the second. Deborah George drives inside towards the paint around Rains. Gets under the rim, drops it back to Manny Malou. It comes off Rains' knee. It'll be a Bandits ball.
Yeah, Deborah George is such a great player to watch when he's at his creative best. That high pick and roll. Coach Chalmers has got him in that high pick and roll where he does his best work.
Kenja Bosley thinks about the three, puts up the three. Doesn't get it to go. West taps it down to Rains, right across to Hewer. Hewer drives to the paint, floats it in, drew the contact along the way. Nice move by that man. Knox lead again.
Yeah, Harry Gibbs, he just fell asleep there defensively. Looked to his left, and before you knew it, that man, Damon Hewer, was at the rack. And now he's at the line for shooting one. A little bit of experience there from Gibbs, inexperience from Gibbs. He'll be disappointed with that, but he really needs to switch on.
Hewer drops it in.
Otherwise, you pay the price at this NBL1 level.
George to Gibbs. Now Deborah George back to his left. Manny Malou. Malou out to Deborah George from deep for three. George misses. Kenja Bosley comes up with it and tips it in for two. There's a bit of a wry smile on his face as well as West brings it up the right wing. Across to Hewer. He goes into Rains and now Thosby. Around the arc work Knox. West. Rains for three. The big fella knocks it down. Low and flat.
Wow, that was a line drive there from Rains. As you said there, Murph, low and flat. But the big man, come out and guard me or I'm going to shoot it. As Deborah George goes to work. Gibbs fires up. No good. Junkyard cleaning up at the other end. Big Torrin Jones.
Bit of aggression about him tonight.
Yeah, cleaning the glass there, Murph. Cleaning the glass. 43-42 Knox.
Now Thosby around to Rains. In beautiful ball there to Marshall, who knocks it down off the glass. Knox go out by three again. 45-42. Good game of ball going on here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre in Albury for the final time in 2019 for both these clubs. George out wide to Bosley. Bosley drives into Hewer. No call. Now Bosley puts up the three. It floats past and goes out. And when I say the last time for both clubs, I mean the last time for both these men's teams. In terms of the women's, well, Knox, they're still advancing. They will play in the playoffs. Thosby flicks it back in. And now Marshall to bring it up the floor. Steve Murphy, Jade Colf in commentary for you tonight. Thosby goes around. This is West. Rains. Rains for another three. Misses. Sinkirak taps it out. And ending up in the skybox, as you call it. Almost there was Thosby.
Yeah, Adam Thosby says hello to the skybox section down there. Always in danger down there, but plenty of action. If you like your action, get down there in the skybox section.
George around to Bosley, back to George. Bandits trail by three. 5.5 to go. Into Manny Malou, the alley-oop almost. Taken away by Hewer, up the floor, past halfway, flicks it out wide. In the corner is Marshall for three. And he's having an impact since finding his way on the floor as the foul is called on West.
Yeah, Casey Marshall got injected into this ball game. Had an easy layup, the easiest bucket he would have made so far this year in the NBL1 competition, and then a little pocket corner three ball. And he's loving his work early on. And you certainly would. You better put a body on that guy from long range. That stroke looked very, very sweet as he's got the job of trying to contain Deborah George as well. And plenty of action for that man. Deborah George, shot clock's at 10. What can he create? A bit of pick and roll action with Jones. In and out. And up for the big man! Throw it down, Torrin Jones! Deborah George, 1-2 punch. NBL1 basketball at its finest.
Up the floor, Marshall Out wide to Rose. Reigns. Neck and neck, these two sides at the moment, trading blows. Hewer for three to give another buffer. Sinkarak comes up with it. So game's really settled into a bit of a rhythm now. Sinkarak puts up the two, misses, comes down to Thosby. And Knox to bring it up the floor with under half the quarter remaining. Thosby for two. He was left open, misses. Malou feeds back across to Deborah George. Quickly up the floor, tops it in.
Throw it down, Manny Malou from Deborah George once again.
Well, first Torrin Jones, now Manny Malou. We made the call earlier that he sets it up like no one else on the floor in the Bandits lineup, Deborah George, and he's delivered already.
Deborah George has got the ball on a string, scoring and dishing, doing everything at his creative best.
And Hewer, big block by Malou. The momentum swinging the home team's way. Deborah George for three. That would bring the house down. Torrin Jones comes up with it, flicks it, and turns it over. Marshall goes into Rose, drives to the bucket. He almost turns it over. Well, Marshall ambitious, you would think. Rose comes up with it, spins around and gets a high one off the glass. A good spin. A good maneuver. 4 points the lead to Knox. And hasn't this game come to life in the last 2 or 3 minutes?
Certainly is. The crowd's into it, and why not? It's Deborah George again. Short on that one. Knox off to the races. There's a three from Thosby, and he got it. Adam Thosby, the bearded one, pulls up from long range. And we've got a timeout, the 53-46 Knox Raiders lead. And what is turning into an entertaining contest here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre.
For the SSNA club in Albury, it certainly is. 7 points. The Bandits come back and sometimes snatch a lead, but it just doesn't seem to be able to be sustained because Knox keep coming back the other way and had that lead by 7. Golf. The shooting percentages, well,
we take a look at the shooting percentages, Murph. 46% for the Bandits from overall, 55 for Knox. So good shooting from both teams. The three-point shooting, very similar as well. Both teams shooting in the 30s, 31 for the Bandits, 36 for Knox. So not bad shooting there overall. Rebounds to Bandits lead, 21-17. And we take a look at blocks. Very even at 2-1 in favour of the Bandits. Assists even, 9-7 in favour of the Raiders. And the Bandits have twice as many turnovers as the Raiders. So there's your ball game there. 8 turnovers to 4, 53-46. 3 minutes remaining in the second period. It's an entertaining one. Up and down the floor.
Deborah George, just the 2 assists, but 2 of the best assists you're likely to see. 2 alley-oops, one to Torrin Jones, the other to Manny Malou.
Yeah, he's in one of those moods, Deborah George.
And this is Bosley. Bandits trailing by 7 in the corner. Sinkirak lands it. Knocks down the 3, and the Bandits close the margin back to 4. We have under 3 to go for the SSNA club. Go and check it out. Their locker room. Go and watch all the live sporting action that you would like at the SSNA Club Albury when you are visiting from Knox. Now, Hewer, is he fouled by Sinkirak? He was.
Yeah, Sinkirak, he loves the defense on the perimeter. That's where he earns his keep. That's where his court time comes from. He's going to make you earn every single bucket out there. He's going to be in your face.
Thosby. Marshall around. Hewer, too hot for him. Sinkirak over the top to react, throws it in. Manny Malou, if you don't mind. He loves it, and he's showing his repertoire tonight as well. This man can seriously play, Manny Malou. Up the floor comes Thosby. He drives around Riak, and foul called. It'll go against here for the Bandits. Call is going to be on Sukuk Riak by the looks of it. So Sukuk picks up his second personal of the night. Thosby to the line.
Yeah, it looks like it's shaping up to be one of those frustrating nights for that man Riak. 2 fouls. Go along with 2 points. He's having problems staying on the floor.
I'll tell you what it is shaping up at, Colf. A classic tonight here at the stadium to finish with. All the home fans, well, It's going to be worth the admission price, I get the feeling.
Absolutely cracking crowd tonight too, Murph. Both grandstands packed. Good support for the Southern Vale home Bandits. There's Manny Malou from 18 feet, looks to get close. Oh, good defense from Rains. Well done from the big man.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? And now Rose, 2-point territory that shot is, misses. Malou comes up with it and dishes out to Sinkirak. So the Bandits quickly in a flash up the floor. He drives against Grant, looks for support, gets it in Lloyd. He takes the 2-shot and misses to Thosby, who had it just taken away by Sinkirak, but Grant to Hewer. He drives up, Hewer look for Rains. Last touch off Knox. No Bandits player touched it. It'll be a Bandits ball.
Yeah, Hewer just came down there and a little bit of overthinking from him. Always safe to take the first option there, and he'll be disappointed with that with 1:40 left. Knox holding onto a 4-point lead. Kenjar Bosley.
Doesn't go the shot
Sinkirak.
for a second one.
Big rebound there from Thosby, and look at him push the floor, push the ball.
Quickly
Hewer.
up.
Oh, back to Thosby. Another turnover from Hewer.
Both sides causing some errors in this game. To be expected. High scoring affair. We're 1:20 left. Both sides are going to be mid-50s by the end of the half. Knox may even be able to go into that 60 territory. Bosley against Hewitt, drives to the left, drops it in to Sinkirak, and he was out. In fact, it was Riak. And the ball with Grant. So 1:07 remaining for the SSNA club in the opening half. Knox 55, Bandits 51. Hewer up the floor, drives to the paint rather fast. He drove straight up the lane and lays it up for an easy 2. Bosley, Sinkirak in. Is Bosley off the glass. That's a good move by Bosley. Didn't draw the contact, but by Grant, so that was good enough.
It's a tough move from Bosley. Good acrobatic move from him. Oh, tough move there from Thosby. Wowee. The bearded one. Going to work.
Bosley out wide. Sinkirak into Malou. Puts up the little jumper. That's no good. Riak will get the ball back and tips it in for 2 off the glass. Takes his moment. Margin back to 4. Last possession, or maybe second last, going to Knox. There's 15 seconds on the clock. Identical to the shot clock. Hewer in. They are going to take the last shot by Knox. So clever here. Hewer passes across. Well, Malou almost takes it away. Rains gets it into Grant. Floats it up. Draws the contact. Doesn't drop it in, but will still go to the line with less than half a second remaining. 0.4 on the clock. Knox to extend their lead to possibly 6 points at the half.
Yeah, Coach Darryl McDonald will be happy with this. Going into the lead at the half. Looking to extend right here.
First one Knox in, so that's the 60 for the half to Knox. Massive offensive half by them. They knock in the second, and that'll do us for scoring for the SSNA club in Albury. It is the visitors 61, the home team 55 at half-time. Cole, talk us through some of those numbers.
Yeah, not much defense being played in this one here, Murph, but we expected that. And it's entertaining stuff nonetheless as we take a look at those numbers. And look at the overall field goal percentage of both squads, 48% for the Bandits, 56% from Knox. So both teams shooting very, very well. The three-point shooting, solid as well, 33% for the Bandits, 36 for the Knox Raiders. The rebounding, 23. The big junkyard dog doing well there on the glass to 19 for the Knox Raiders. Blocks 2-1. Assists, 10 assists apiece. The turnovers high for both teams, 10 and 7. They are throwing it around there tonight. And 61-55. No defense in this one. I don't think the fans really mind. As we know, no playoff implications on the line. Just pure entertainment. And very entertaining from the commentary booth here, and expect more in the second half, Murph.
Stick around. Really looking forward to it here live from the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre in Albury. Welcome back to NBL1 action here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. As Knox make their way back out onto court, it is the Bandits 55, Knox 61. It's a 6-point lead to Knox at halftime here. The visitors now, Colfman. It is set up for a fascinating finish. Heading into this round, we had in 6th place Dandenong with 10 wins, and then Melbourne with 10, the Braves with 10 as well. Waverley have 10, and the Huskies around 10. They're out of it now, the Huskies. So basically from Dandenong, Melbourne, Braves, Bendigo Braves that is, and Waverley, those 4 teams all trying to squeeze into 3. Can give you some of the scores from tonight. We'll start with our, if I bring up my screen, Waverley's gone down to Tasmania, so it looks like it has been a loss for them. So Waverley will wait to have that confirmed with them. We've got over on the board with Ballarat and Melbourne's in a fascinating contest at the moment. It's in the second with around 3 minutes to go. Melbourne lead 38-27 by 11 points. So in effect, looking at the ladder, a victory to Melbourne. They do have another game to come tomorrow. Their opposition tomorrow will actually be against Eltham. So, but if they can knock off Ballarat, the top of the table there, which they're in a good position to do, you'd fancy them taking on Eltham tomorrow. So you'd fancy that Melbourne should be in a box seat to certainly grab one of those positions, no doubt about that. Dandenong have gone down to Kilsyth. The game's not over yet. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. There's 3.5 minutes to go in the game. They're down by 7 points from the score we have in front of us against Kilsyth. So assuming that Kilsyth hold on to that contest and actually win, that'll be a dagger for Dandenong. However, they still probably do make it. They play Ringwood tomorrow again. So they're still in a decent sort of position. And the other game we had, Colfie, Bendigo. Well, Bendigo's done the job tonight. 4.5 minutes to go in their game against Geelong. They're 17 points in front at the moment. So if you look at that equation from that side of things, Bendigo should finish with an 11th win, which would pretty much you'd expect book their playoff spot. So Waverley, very much the team that would need to produce something special in their final match tomorrow. In fact, that would be by the looks of it. That's their final match tonight, Waverley. So Waverley would be the side knocked out. So it does look like, in terms of playoff action, that Dandenong, Melbourne and Bendigo will all hold their places inside that top 8 and will all play playoffs heading in from next weekend. Colfman. So an exciting finish. When you looked at that board, there was so many scenarios, so many different things that could have happened, but it looks like those sides will book their place, and Waverley, like the Bandits in the women's, will be the unlucky side that misses out in that 9th position.
Absolutely, Murph. And that score, that Bendigo Braves score on Geelong, they are doing a number on Geelong. That's a big result there.
So that is their last game for Waverley for the season as well against Tasmania. So as we head in now to the second half here, it is the Bandits who trail this contest. Sinkirak into Torrent Jones, tapped away here by Grant. Comes back to Rose, out to Hewer. Passes in the corner to Thosby, puts up the 3 and misses, and Sinkirak comes up with it. So 6-point lead to Knox in the contest here. And misses a shot. So Grant, down to Grant. And still no scoring as we go almost a minute in. Rose. Passes inboard around to Rains. Out to Rose. Back to Rains. Rains in the paint. Out to Grant. I reckon his foot was on the line. It was. It misses. Any case. And Jones gives off to Kenja Bosley. Bosley underneath the rim. Out to Sinkirak. Around to Riak. Drives on the left. No. And too hot to handle for Malou. It hits the ref in the foot.
Yeah, way too hot to handle there. Matty Malou. Bit of a chat with his running mate there, and Riak saying, what are you doing there, mate? That was a little bit too hot to handle as Rose looks to settle things down. Knox leading by 6. And in a highly entertaining ball game, and that's from long range. Missed it. Sinkirak. Looks to push the ball. Bit of pick and roll action. Didn't even.
Someone's going to have to score soon, Colf. Almost a couple of minutes in, both sides. Not great offensively to start.
He'll fire. He'll make.
Well, big bucket too. Cuts it out to 9 points. Biggest of the match that would be. And Sinkurak brings it up the floor. Now Malou.
Manny Malou.
A little short that'll be. Rose flicks it back to Riak. And Riak takes it off Rains. Flicks it back in board. Torrin Jones, well, comedy of errors right there. Thosby into Grant. Easy layup for a man of that quality. The margin going out now beyond double figures, 11. Bosley goes against Hewer. Ends up across with Jones. Goes against Rains. Big block by Rains and the ball goes out. And it will be a Knox ball as well.
Yeah, great stuff from Big Rains. Not really known for his shot blocking, but he's in there battling with the big junkyard dog.
Knox putting a little bit of gap in this game as well right now. Rose. And now in the corner, Hewer puts up the three, misses, comes down to Torrin Jones, across to Kenja Bosley. Drives it up. Jones back to Deborah George. George goes into Manny Malou. Malou for two. Misses.
Yeah.
Comes out Thosby.
The Bandits just look like they're getting into a little bit of individualism here, Murph.
Throws around to Thosby.
Paying the price.
Thosby puts it up and draws the contact. Doesn't get it to count from the Bandits' perspective, but will still find himself at the line. And a third foul for Sakuk Riak. He called it earlier. It might not be his night. A frustrating night, I think. He called that he could be in for it. He certainly had that. So 3 personals on Sakuk Riak. 4 points for the evening. 11 points in arrears now, the Bandits, and possibly as many as 13. Thosby lands it. And now counts the no misses. Comes down to Riak and across to Deborah George. So the Bandits with the ball up the floor past halfway. This is Manny Malou. And just throws it into Grant's leg. Maybe a Bandits ball.
So this lead now at 12, Murph, and as you said before, it's getting out of control, getting out of hand. As Deborah George was the one that kept this Bandits team close. As Kenja Bosley with a little bit of magic, that's short. And here come Knox again with that man. Thosby goes wide again. That's his spot right there. And there's another foul on Riak. And he is going to go over and make himself acquainted with the coaching staff of the Bandits. 4 fouls.
4 personals, plenty of time to go in the game. Still 16 minutes and 14 seconds in game time total remaining. 12 points, more to come here by Knox, who is starting to put separation in this game for the SSNA club in Albury. Go and check out all the live sporting action there on their massive locker room. All the NBL action from this upcoming season. It'll be screened right there on the border. If you're going to go anywhere, that's the place you definitely want to go at the SSNA club in Albury. And Hewer knocks that down. The shot to come, out by 13. And Hewer makes it back-to-back buckets. And 14 points, game-high lead now for the visitors. A nice way they're looking to finish their season on the road. Be a nice little road trip home later on tonight. This is Bosley. Out wide, McKay for 3. He does pull the trigger from time to time. Big Torrin Jones knocked away by Rains. This is Hewer. Spins around Deborah George. Comes out to Thosby. Doesn't even think about it. Puts up the 3. Grant has it tapped away by Torrin Jones. And the foul is called. Jones displeased.
Yeah, Torrin Jones just having a good chat there with referee Robert Rice. Saying, you sure about that, ref? Torren loves to ask the question every time. He's a competitive beast, that man.
Well, again, just for the third straight time, they increase their lead by going to the free throw line.
You take a look at the scoring for the Knox Raiders, Murph, and very even scoring. The only player for Knox that are yet to put any points up is Josh West. Everyone's hit the score sheet so far.
So a bit of blood, I think we might have on the arm here of Grant. I think that's what we have at the moment. That's the issue the referees have asked him to fix up. So he's in the process of doing that. In the meantime, Marshall, well, he's the man that's won the free throw lottery. He'll come on to make it a 16-point lead. He's been sitting there cold on the bench, but makes no issues. He catches a bit of fire there. 71-55. Knox continue the offensive play. This is Deborah George. He drives, flicks it out wide. Josh McKay doesn't go the three, gives to Bailey Lloyd. He does, puts it up for three, and Lloyd lands it. Come off the moment, come off the man. The Bandits required that to say it was an understatement. Thoseby across to Hewer. Flicks it back to Rains. Out wide, Marshall in the corner for Rose. Misses. McKay. Here is Kenja going to work. Torren Jones is fouled. The Bandits have their own chance at the free throw line.
Yeah, good hard foul there from Adam Thoseby. Good discipline. And just quietly, Murph, Coach D-Mac, Darryl McDonald, very, very relaxed coach over there on the sideline. And why wouldn't you be? Leading by 13 on the road. 5 minutes left in the third period as the junkyard dog Torren Jones makes the first of two. He's got 19 points to go along with 10 rebounds, a double-double for that man. 20 and 10 game, Torren Jones.
This is Rose. Thoseby. And now Knox trying to create something. The shot goes up here. Nyok misses. And this is Deborah George up the right wing. Can the Bandits work themselves back into the contest? And just had it stripped by Nyok. Quickly up. Hewer gets under the rim, tries to draw the contact, misses. Well done by Kenja. And then also Lloyd, George, into Jones, out. Kenja Bosley for three. Bosley lands it. A big moment right there, a big bucket. Nice assist by Torren Jones.
Beautiful work from Kenja Bosley on the defensive end to start with, and then he just trailed. And Torren Jones found him. Beautifully played as there's a scramble underneath, and Josh McKay comes up with it.
Brilliant work, Deborah George. Bandits filling it a little bit. Kenja Bosley feeling it right now. Gets it to go, back-to-back threes for Kenja. And the Bandits close the margin back to 5 from 16.
This high-scoring offense, they can put up points quickly.
An 11-0 run to the Bandits have got themselves back in the contest for the SSNA Club. 4:04 remain in the third.
And Coach D-Mac not even bothering with a timeout. He is just kicked back over there. I've never seen a more relaxed coach, but I like what I'm seeing. Raiders to inbound.
Marshall. Nyok, he almost loses it. He does lose it. Torren Jones gives it to George. George puts up the two and lands it in for a couple. And Menia brings it up the court, past halfway. 3:35 remaining. Margin back to 3. 13-0 run. Flipped away by George. Comes up to Jones. runs up, almost loses it, gets it back, flicks it out. Kenja Bosley's already landed 2 recent threes. Will he go for a third? No, he drives in the paint off the glass for 2. Smooth move by Kenja Bosley. The Bandits are on a 15-0 run right here. Marshall goes out to Thosby. The crowd come to life here for the final time this season. Thosby puts it up, draws the contact. Or it's not. Offensive foul. The Bandits will get the ball back.
It's an offensive foul. And Coach D-Mac over there still has not moved. Still has not called a timeout. The lead is down to 1. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. The momentum incredible in this game of basketball, Cole. Absolutely amazing. Knox all over the Bandits 5 minutes ago. And now the Bandits lead. Absolutely remarkable. I see it, but I do not believe it.
Josh McKay getting in on the act.
Incredible 17-0 run to the home team. To end it, Marshall does in the best possible fashion with a 3.
Casey Marshall says that is enough. That is enough
like
of that, guys.
Bosley steps out into Torrin Jones, and 3-second violation. And Jones, he doesn't often agree with the referees. He doesn't often agree, it must be said.
Just looking for another explanation
He
there,
likes to just ask the question, ponder his thoughts on what the call possibly could have been.
He's just like, please explain, ref.
He's a walking instant replay, he is. And now Nyok goes around to Marshall. Same position he sunk that 3, guarded by Bosley. Marshall steps back out, pickpocket away by Jones almost. Both collide and keeps it alive for Knox, flicks it under beautifully to Nyok. Gives it back, but that is the shot clock violation. Great work by the Bandits. Big Torrin Jones there.
It is absolute pandemonium. The Lauren Jackson Sports Centre 74-72. Shot clock violation. Deborah George in control.
There's
He
the ball.
comes off a pick. Another 3. Oh, the Junkyard Dog!
Did look like he had the arm pulled. No call given. Adnam goes to the rack. It'll be a Knox ball. 72-74. This game has plenty in it. Plenty in it.
Come down with a 360 in the air. Ball trickled out of bounds. Knox ball baseline. He throws it away.
Nyok into Menio. He has it, drives around to the left, flicks it out wide. Grant, got a little deflection by Nyok. Grant puts it up, misses. Torrin Jones with a rebound. Now Big Jones flicks it straight into Marshall. Turnover ball. Marshall flicks it back to Grant. Massive block. Goaltending, it'll count.
That was a block.
Deborah George frustrated. Controversial call.
Yeah, the crowd letting the referee know their thoughts. Deborah George flying high.
Kenja Bosley into Jones out wide. Deborah George puts up the 3. That'll make amends. Misses. Makes up for it. Tries to flick back to Torrin Jones. And Marshall, Menio goes up, draws the contact, and will go to the line. And just again, the Bandits get their noses in front, but again, Knox is able to bring it back the other way to a handy buffer.
Yeah, a little bit casual there on a couple of possessions as Bailey Lloyd comes crashing in with the foul. And that lead back out to 4 with a couple of foul shots. 57.9 left in the third period, and that one trickles out.
Just wonder what... as the shot goes up, misses again, comes back down. Underneath all that, well, Adnam comes up with it, flicks it out wide. Goes over the top to Nyok, back to Adnam. He almost loses it, eventually puts the shot up. Nyok gets it. It won't count. It'll be a Bandits ball. Basket doesn't count. And the referees are asking the coaches' benches to take a seat. And a tech foul goes against the Knox coaching bench. Daryl McDonald is furious.
Daryl McDonald out of his seat for the first time tonight, and the ref tees him up. He's over there, over in the other skybox section. He cannot believe what he's just seen.
Now, this is a momentum swinger. Absolutely. I must say, a couple of players on the Knox bench are quite jovial. They're having a laugh amongst themselves, but I'll tell you what, their coach certainly isn't. Torrin Jones lands the first. And late in the term, this could be a big momentum swinger for the SSNA club. Jones to cut the margin to 2. He does, and the Bandits will get the ball back with 47.5 seconds remaining in the third. Jones checks out for a moment. And Brody Mills checks in. For his first minute, so Bosley puts up the 3. Kenja Bosley misses. Comes down, Adnam drives against McKay, and Mills flicks it back across into Grant. Doesn't put it in, but will draw the contact and go to the line. Grant with 31 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and Kenja Bosley, he picks up his third foul.
This is going to be some finish. Anything could happen.
I thought Daryl the D-Mac McDonald was going to get tossed.
Well,
he got out of his seat for the first time. I thought they were going to double team, and that was the last we'd see of him. He's still over there with his coaching staff explaining the reason why he was so upset. But this place has erupted. Things are out of control.
Both sides certainly put the defensive cue in the rack tonight. They're going to both score above a century, I reckon. This is Deborah George. Out wide, Kenja Bosley. Bosley into the paint. Out wide, Deborah George. Steps back for 3, Deborah George. Misses. Comes down, Menier. Flicks it out wide. This is Adam. Drives up, Grant. Last possession with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Grant misses. And it'll be a 4-point lead to Knox heading at three-quarter time. An amazing third quarter. Knox led by 16 before a Bandits 17-0 run got them back the lead. But Knox it was that finished the better to lead by 4 at the break for the SSNA club, Cole.
Yeah, an explosive comeback from the Southern Vale home Bandits. High octane and entertaining stuff as we run through some of the numbers. That shooting percentage from the Bandits has come crashing down to 42%. They are jacking up as many shots as they can. The Knox Raiders at 47% themselves. The three-point shooting, exactly 33% from both ball clubs. 27 times the Bandits have launched from downtown, making 9. 21 for the Raiders, and they've made 7. So both teams shooting a lot of shots from long range. The rebounding, a lot of rebounds up for grabs, 37-35. The Bandits lead that category. Blocks are even at 3 apiece. Assists fairly even, 14-13. And it is absolute turnovers galore in this one. 15 for the Bandits, 13 for the Knox Raiders. One more quarter to go, Steve Murphy. Highly entertaining stuff. Can't wait to see how this one turns out.
Could we have in the final game on this court, the final time these two sides will play in this season, could we see it go beyond? Could we see overtime?
Could we get overtime? Well,
could we get overtime? It'd be fitting. You know what? It would be fitting for what we've seen.
I wouldn't put it past these two ball clubs.
What a wonderful finish to this sensational competition, the premier winter basketball competition in the country. And we don't know a winner. It's really tough from here. We thought Knox were every bit winners, put it in the book midway through that second, but the Bandits had other ideas, and it's just been a crazy evening of basketball between these two.
I also want to see if NBL legend and Knox Raiders coach Daryl the D-Mac McDonald can make it through this ball game, Murph. He's got 1 tech in the book already. I'll tell you what, if he gets out of that seat again, shows any kind of emotion, they might just toss him.
Well,
he's doing well over there, D-Mac. He's doing well.
So Bandits start with the ball in the last stanza. George tapped off Menia and it goes out. So it'll be a Bandits ball. The Southern Vale home Bandits, 78 to Knox, 74 to the Bandits. The Southern Vale home Bandits requiring early points here to keep pace, and they do through Kenja Bosley to cut it back to 2. Menia has the ball back past halfway. Into Marshall, sunk a big 3 to stop that 7-0 run by the Bandits. This is Grant. Menia underneath the rack. Beautiful move off the glass for a couple to bring it back out to 4. Bosley drives hard against Marshall and then lands it off the glass. Bandits back to 2. Marshall out wide, Adnam. Menia. Nyok puts a loose screen on. Adnam into Grant. Grant, the spin away. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bandits a chance to tie it. Now they get the ball back. Deborah George drives in. Floater, it's good for 2. 80 apiece. 80 apiece.
Yeah, beautiful move from Deborah George. He moves to 16 points. He's been dynamic tonight.
And now out wide, Menia. Nyok, this is Marshall for 3, a little shallow. Comes out to Nyok. Flicks it back around. Menia drives hard against Jones and gets it off the glass for a couple. 2 points the lead.
Yeah, they just isolated that mismatch there. Torrin Jones had to step out on the perimeter. And Munier slashes to the rack as Kenja Bosley lays the boot into it. They're going the other way. It's that man again. Ball too strong. He throws it away. And we're going back the other way. Bandits ball.
So both sides been loose at times with their possession. So possession in the hands of the Bandits. Kenja Bosley with it. And brings it up the floor. Kenja into Jones. Across to George. Manny Malou. And it'll be a Knox ball.
Yeah, Manny Malou just a little bit careless there on the baseline. Good defense from Neok. Giving up a little bit of athleticism there, but a bit of body contact. Shook up Malou.
West, you mentioned he was the only man that hadn't scored. See if it happens. Reigns. There's a couple of personals next to his name. Menia around. This is Marshall. Marshall out wide. Lloyd in the way, steals it. Gives to Kenja Bosley. Bandits up the floor. Bosley is fouled. And it will not count. It won't count. Bucket won't count. And now the Bandits coaching The Bandits coaching staff are up on their feet and asked to sit back down.
Referee Robert Rice just says, take a seat. We don't want any scenes out here. The crowd are wild and crazy tonight. Last round, NBL1 competition. As we just try to settle things down. Bailey Lloyd to inbound. Deborah George in the post.
George has it, puts up the 2.
Ooh, in and out.
This is Nyok West. Flicks it across. Nyok has it, out wide. Marshall for 3. Malou comes up with it and is fouled by Nyok.
Yeah, things are wild and crazy out here with 7:03 left.
There's plenty of passion by both benches, no question about that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more tech fouls, to be honest. It's got that feel about it. It's got a feel.
I think it's been pretty lenient so far that we've only got the one.
I tell you what.
D-Mac, Daryl McDonald, the coach, he's the one that's copped it.
Yeah, the Bandits were very close as well.
Coach Chalmers.
In fact, we had the court announcer almost ejected a few moments ago. That's how well it's travelling.
Torrin Jones, what can he do? The junkyard dog in the post. That's short. West with the rebound.
West comes up with it.
He's looking to get his name on the scorer sheet.
We've had everything else in the game, Colf. Why not? Flicks it back out. George comes up with it. Can he tie the game? Can he give the Bandits the lead? No. And the Bandits for the last, I think it's been a 2-point margin for the last couple of minutes. The last score in the game was 8:15. So it's been a good couple of minutes since someone had scored, and Hewer changes that back out to 4 points is Knox. And they'll get the ball back as well. They'll get the ball back as well.
It's another turnover. And we've got a substitution. And Shaq Riak's going to check back in and try his chances again. He has spent more time on the bench tonight than he would really like.
Well, he's got 4 personals, so he can't slip up again.
He might as well go down swinging.
What can he do? Hewer for 2, puts it up, and he sinks it again. So the last 2 buckets by that man to get a 6-point margin and some separation in this game. And now the ball back in, very much the court of the Bandits. Riak gives across. Deborah George puts up the 3. This time lands it. Bit of air about that one by Deborah George. Hits the back of the rim. And the Bandits cut the margin in half to 3.
Yeah, beautiful from Deborah George. Know what his intentions are. Hewer.
Drives hard into Rains, and that's good for 2. Margin 5.
Lovely from Hewer. Everything runs through him. 2 Bandits came across. He dishes it off to that man, Rains.
This game's gone in massive momentum swings. Huge momentum swings.
Kenja short on the iron. Neok, great rebound. Off to West. Shaq Riak's got 4.
Anyhow, well, Laxadainty sort of shot, but lands it. 7 points now the lead. And going further out in front, Knox putting question marks on the Bandits. Bosley flicks one back and it's out.
He throws another one away. That's an ugly turnover there from Kenjar Bosley.
This is the little mini run that we talked about, the little momentum swing, Colf. It's gone Knox's way as we get an SSNA timeout called. 4:59 remaining in the last.
Yeah, we certainly do. SSNA Club timeout. Get down to the SSNA Club for all your sports action. The locker room going berserk this time of year, Murph. Rugby league, AFL football. Amazing finish to the World Cup. It's all going on, and it's all going on here tonight. What a ball game tonight. I'll tell you what, you're getting your money's worth. If you paid full admission tonight, packed house, 7 points in it. And this match has had everything. And could we get overtime in this one here? As you said, there has been a game of mini runs, and Knox going on a little bit of a mini run right now. Still plenty of time left. The way these 2 ball clubs are scoring points, 5 minutes is an eternity. I think to win this game, look, Knox are at 90. I think you're going to need 110 points plus to win this ball game. So Knox, I think you really are. I mean, 5 minutes to go in this one. 110 will get it done. First team to 110. I'm saying it now, Murph. Well, first team to 110 wins this contest.
It'll be a fair task for the Bandits. They're 27 away from it.
There will be.
In a half a basketball goal.
They've got 5 minutes.
It's a huge effort. Rose is back on the floor for Knox. Puts it up to Ray.
Oh, my goodness gracious me.
He's trying to bring down the backboard.
Rains.
Oh, massive alley-oop put up there. Rains is trying to go through a couple of Bandits and absolutely bring down the whole entire backboard with that play.
That was some nasty stuff there out of the timeout.
Oh, no. I'm not sure if that's exactly what D-Mac would have spoke about at the break to them, boy. There. He lands the first. Rains, takes his scoring to 15. And I hate to say it, Cole, for the home fans, but this one's starting to slip away a little bit. It's out to 8.
Out to 8.
Bandits a little bit reckless with ball in hand at times. The foul called here against Hewer. He looks perplexed, to say the least. And Thosby about to check back into the game. He's had a really good game too, as West checks out, so we won't see any scoring from that man just for the moment. Now, Grant, well, they turn it over. Grant up to Hewer. And the Bandits, just at the moment, can't take a trick. Here with the ball. Patient sort of build up. He gets three-point range, puts up the shot, misses, and that'll go out. It'll be a Bandits ball.
Bandits got to make something happen now. 4:27 on the clock.
Just got to get some buckets. They're going up the floor far too often for no return.
Got to get some buckets. Deborah George, the man to have the ball in his hand.
Into Torrin Jones. He drives to the paint, takes it on himself. It'll be a Bandits ball, stripped of it by Grant. He thought it might have gone his way. No foul called, however.
Yeah, Torrin Jones just wondering what he's going to do to get to the line. Tried to force that one there as Deborah George throws it in. Manny Malusi going to fire? No, back to George. 15 on the clock. Deborah George looking for a pick and roll.
Bandits need someone to go on a little run. Well, a hard pass in, really ambitious by George on that occasion. And Hewer, the Bandits just allowing too much possession back to Knox. Well, they've got it back with a hand of George there. Comes to Torrin Jones. Deborah George for three to get them back in the game. He misses. Comes up. Kenja Bosley floats it. Torrin Jones tips it in. It doesn't matter how they got it, but they got it. 85-91, margin back to 6. 3 3/4 minutes for the SSNA to play in the game. Here comes Rose, tipped out by Riak, comes down, taking Deborah George. Bandits still alive in this contest. George, does he pull the trigger again? He does pull the trigger and he misses again. Across and Rose takes it away. Up the middle of the court.
Right, Rose looking to milk some clock.
Rose for three.
Dagger.
Yeah, a massive one too.
Well done there from Mike Rose. Looked to milk the clock, but they left him wide open. As Bosley to the rack, he'll go to the line. The clock will stop. Good news for Bandits fans. And Kenjar Bosley will go to the line. Yeah, just on Mike Rose there. He came down, looked like he was going to milk some clock. They gave him too much space, and he was like, okay, if you're not going to guard me, I'll shoot that. And he hit nothing but the bottom of the net as Bosley looks to make 2 foul shots here. Coach Darryl McDonald over there, he gathers his charges for this the stretch run home. 3 minutes and a little bit of change remaining in this ball game. Well,
we know how the game can change, but we've seen it when the Bandits were 16 down in the third, so not done with yet.
Still an eternity, 3 minutes.
Yeah, plenty of time to go. It's just they don't look like it at the moment. They're throwing up some shots and just some of their passes are a bit too ambitious at the stage of the game. I don't need to completely panic just yet. They're 7 points down. It's only in effect really 3 buckets to take the lead. Now Reigns across to Rose. This is Grant. Grant flicks it out wide to Thosby. Thosby puts up the shot and lands a 3. How is that? And I think he copped a little bit from the skybox there as well.
Yeah, he certainly did, but he got the last laugh on that one as Deborah George looks to create.
Out wide, McKay for 3. Can he be an unlikely hero? He misses, and Riak has it knocked out of his hands. It'll be a Bandits ball. They trail by 10, 2:28. It would have to be a Houdini axe from here, you would appear. They're going every bit. The winners are Knox.
Yeah, just on that, Adam Thosby had a little bit to say to the skybox. Why not? We love that up here in the commentary booth. As Kenjar Bosley to Deborah George, he fires, he misses.
Short.
That's a foul. That's going to be a foul on Reigns. Foul on Reigns. He gave a little bit of a cheeky nudge in there to Torrin Jones, and
Jones still wanting the points to count, but he's not going to get that. So we go to the... It's a foul. So getting an explanation now.
He likes those explanations, Murph.
Does go to the line. And don't worry, if you don't offer him one, he will ask. So Jones lands the first. And Torrin Jones, so far he's scoring tonight 25, so he's had fair numbers. And to go alongside that, 14 rebounds, so a double-double for him. Knox brings it up the floor. Gets down towards the paint, floats it up, misses, comes down. Sakuk Riak takes it away. Up the floor along the right wing. Can the Bandits, they've got to stop. Flicks it back beautifully to McKay. Back to Riak for three. Sakuk Riak lands it from the corner, and the Bandits are back in business. Down by 5. 1:59 remaining in the ball game. A big bucket by Sakuk Riak.
Yeah, he's been persistent all night, playing with the 4 fouls. And a couple of hustle plays and a pocket 3 from his area, from his part of the court where he's comfortable. And the lead's at 5, as you said, Murph. Crowd into it again. They need a stop.
This is Hewer. They do need a stop. With the ball, both sides have thrown away possession at times tonight. Rose tapped away by George. It'll be a ball to Knox. 1:48 remaining for the SSNA club. The Southern Vale home Bandits trailing 92 to Knox Raiders 97. Neither side will play playoffs. This very much their grand final right now. Inbound ball goes to Grant. Across to Thosby. Steps into 2 territory. Back to Rains. Rains taken away. Devitt George gets it. The Bandits get a stop now. Can they get a bucket? Can they bring it back to a 1-basket game? It's a foul called on Grant just as the Knox Raiders were about to go coast to coast.
Stops the clock once again, Murph. Good news for the Bandits. And Devitt George.
If he makes both of these, it's back to 3.
Very handy being in the bonus situation.
It is. The Bandits only committed 1 team foul themselves. Misses the first. A bit nervous on it. So it does still make it a more than a 1-bucket game. Best he can do is cut it to 4 here. Misses. Torrin Jones, McKay comes up with it. Out, Devitt George for 3. Well, how is that? The old 3-point trick. Misses the 2 free throws and lands the 3. In fact, it's only a 2. Foot on the line, only a 2. I missed the call by the referee. The Bandits get the ball back, however. Bosley flicks it in. Torrin Jones misses. No foul called. 3 points the margin. No foul called. Out wide, Thosby for 3. It's shallow. It'll miss. It comes down. Kenja Bosley, last touch. It'll be a Bandits ball. A massive call. Grant pleading a come off. A come off Kenja, where he's saying there's a bit of blood. So 3 points the margin. How big was that play? Torrin Jones trying to call the foul, and he's still asking the referee. He's not going to change it now in any case.
He's wanting that explanation. He's not going to get it.
Timeout called for the SSNA club. 1:01 remaining in the game.
97-94. What a finish. This stadium is alight here. NBL1 action. Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. I hope all you basketball fans are enjoying it live on the NBL1 YouTube channel. Jade Kolf and Steve Murphy. What an entertaining ball game this is. 1 minute left of this NBL1 season for both these squads.
And the DMAC is animated. Daryl McDonald is animated over there with his charges at the moment. They led by 16 in the third. Got out by 10 during this last period. The Bandits, they've had the momentum late. They keep coming. Maybe this will be a momentum killer for them. Who knows? They had a chance to cut the margin at 2. Devitt George, I apologise. I missed the referee's call. I took it for granted it was a 3 from our commentary position. But the ref obviously in a much better position. Put on the line 2 points. So 3 the margin. Golf, I'm going to stick to it. We've seen everything else tonight. Overtime's a very real possibility.
Yeah, let's do overtime. Why not? We've come this far. The crowd want more. And DMAC, Coach Daryl McDonald, better be careful over there. He's sitting on 1 tech already. He's got steam coming off his head over there. He's been relaxed all night.
Yeah, what do the Bandits do here? Do they pull the trigger, or are they just happy to go for the 2?
I'm looking for Devitt George. Devitt George is going to, I think he's going to go high pick and roll. If the 3's there, he'll take it. He's feeling it.
But 2 at this stage, still good enough. They get a stop at the other end. Either way, they're going to need to get that stop at the other end, even if they land the 3 to tie the game.
Remember, Bandits also in the bonus, Murph. So any foul stops that clock. They'll go to the line. They've got a few aces up their sleeve right now. They've just got to take care of the basketball. No turnovers allowed.
So here we go. React goes into McKay. Just gets it. Gives to Deborah George. So George heavily guarded by Rose here. They know he's a danger man. Flicks it in. Torrin Jones. Jones back to Deborah George. Doesn't think about the 3. Flicks it out now. So Cook React puts it up. Shot clock just about done. Misses, and it goes out. It'll be a Knox ball. 42 seconds remaining in the game.
Beautiful defense from the Knox Raiders there. That was absolutely lockdown stuff on Deborah George. Tough shot over there by React.
For the SSNA club, you reckon Knox, a bucket here would make it really tough. Really, really tough.
The Bandits need a defensive stop right now. They haven't been able to do it all season.
Grant, can they milk all the time in that shot clock too? Stolen away. So Cook React's going to go up. Should make it count. He misses. Cook misses the layup to cut it to 1. And that might be the end for the Bandits. Surely under 20 seconds. Deborah George fouls on Hewer. He'll go to the sideline. He won't go to the line. The Bandits aren't in the bonus. But how is that? So Cook's got to put that away now with 18 seconds left. And that sums up their season.
Cook React. A frustrating night for him.
He's a fan favourite. He's kicking himself. Well, he's hitting himself literally. Thosby.
Got a foul now. Got a foul.
Trying to foul. And foul called.
And that'll be his night. 5 fouls for Cook React.
He's out. So Cook will sit down. He'll hate himself. But there's not much. He's had a wonderful season, so Cook React. He really has. He's been a pleasure to watch do his thing for the Bandits in 2019. Unfortunately, not the way that man would have wanted the season to finish. He's a star, such a nice bloke. They call him Shaq, such a terrific fella off the court. He really is a genuine champion human being. But it will be Knox that'll prevail, you would have to say, from here. Another foul called. Yes, it is, but time ticking away. We sit now on 7.6 seconds. And the Bandits aren't really in foul trouble. That's their 4th, so another one would put them to bonus. But in either way, they've had their chances as they have so often this season. Another foul to Lloyd. That takes a second off the clock. And now this is the situation. It's as simple as this. There'll be 2 shots here. If Thosby sinks 1, they're home. They will be home. If he misses both, the Bandits still a chance. He gets the first. It makes it a 4-point ball game. It'll be enough. The Bandits will get the ball back. But unless there is something absolutely stupid by Knox, absolutely stupid, if they miss this, Bandits landed 3. D-Mac would self-implode.
We've seen everything tonight. We've seen it all.
He lands it. It's a 5-point ball game. And still they come with defence, Knox. It won't matter, but Bosley with the last shot. He put it up a few weeks ago. Lands it up. Tipped in by Deborah George for 2. It'll be 2 points. And the game will end 99-96. What a way to end the season. Very entertaining by both sides. A pleasure to call and commentate tonight, Jade Cole.
Yeah, what a ball game. 99-96. Knox Raiders, kamikaze basketball at its finest. NBL1 competition. We saw everything tonight. We saw highlights. We saw mistakes. We saw high energy. We saw plenty of emotion. And the crowd are on their feet here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Stadium. It has been, well, an eventful night, to say the least. Coach Darren McDonald of the Knox Raiders, he almost got tossed. He got a tech foul. A little bit of everything, and it's been an enjoyable night for both ball games tonight. As we take a look at the numbers for the last time here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Stadium, that field goal percentage, Bandits at 41%, Knox at 48%, the three-point shooting, 31% for the Bandits, 33% for Knox. Rebounds galore in this one, 50-44. There were high volume shooting from both squads. So the Bandits win the rebounding duel by 6. Blocks 4-6 in favour of Knox. Assists very even, 18-17. And it was turnovers galore. 21 turnovers to the Bandits, 20 turnovers for Knox. Scoring leaders, that man Thosby had 20. Hewer had 18 for Knox, and for the Bandits, 26 for the Junkyard Dog, Tyron Jones. Deborah George with 23, and Kenjar Bossie with 23. It's been an absolute pleasure calling the game here tonight. Steve Murphy, what a ball game, what an event, what a league, what a season.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoroughly enjoyed it along the way. The roller coaster of lives. We've seen some absolutely classic matches, didn't we, along the way as well. It was something else to behold here at the Lauren Jackson Sports Centre. From an Albury point of view, unfortunately, it certainly wasn't the way for us this year. It certainly promised. Both sides started reasonably well. The women were unable to get there, probably cost themselves a couple of weeks ago with a costly loss. And the men, well, had plenty of chances throughout the season. Multiple times they were in games, but it really, just at the end of the day, didn't fall their way and didn't quite click when they needed it to. But in any case, it's a best of luck from us, I guess, for the rest of the teams in the playoff action. We certainly look forward to watching it because it really does look like it's going to be a fascinating playoff.
No, absolutely, yeah. It just goes to show, as I said, really thought this Albury Wodonga Bandits men's team was chock full of plenty of talent, but it just goes to show the quality of the NBL1 competition. You know, some of the teams that we've seen this year, very, very professional with the way they go about it. And, hey, look, it's an even competition. And if you don't play defense and you don't show up every single night, you pay the price. The Bandits got to look forward to next year now, but we'll certainly look forward to seeing the NBL1 playoffs, and it has been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, a couple of people to thank as well. Really want to thank the SSNA Club for their sponsorship. If you are listening to us and do visit Albury, go and check out the SSNA Club. Their massive locker room, their food options, plenty to go and see and do there. Make sure you go and check it out. We're very appreciative of them jumping on board. They've been fantastic supporters to allow this broadcast in Albury to be able to go to air. And, of course, NBL1, what a absolutely terrific. The feedback has certainly locally been outstanding towards that organisation. The way they've conducted themselves to Dean Anglin and Luke Sakari and the team. They've been absolutely a class act to deal with, and it's certainly caused a buzz to what it's done to this area. I know the Bandits can't wait to be part of the product, which is going to be bigger and better next year. We absolutely can't wait. We thank those people because the product has been really first class, and the feedback certainly locally here at Albury has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been very, very positive. We've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. And as you said, Murph, NBL1 basketball, it's going to be bigger and better. Basketball is booming in this country, and it's just great to be a part of it. We certainly look forward to doing the home games every single time they roll around. And as I said, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure joining you in the commentary booth, and really look forward to continuing to do this in the future moving forward.
Well, great stuff, Colf, man. Great work by you. Thanks for your company on the broadcast. You've been outstanding.
Thanks, Murph.
Really,
been a lot of fun, mate.
Really, really good. And look forward to that contract extending next year for you. And from Jade Colf and Steve Murphy, thanks for your company throughout the season. Make sure you stay tuned to NBL1 action because a massive playoff series is still to play out. For us, from Albury, for now, until next year, it's bye.